Good morning. Welcome back to the vlog. Hope you guys had a great week. It's good to have you back. It is currently 6 a.m. and you're probably asking yourself, Jordan, why are you up so early? And the answer is very clear. I'm up this early intentionally. I am what the people call an early bird. I love getting up early. I thrive on it. Also, a big reason is because at like 7 a.m., 7:30, 465, which is my main route to any of my jobs, is disgustingly busy. Here's a clip of what it looks like normally when there's just a ton of traffic. And then this clip is from this morning, just a little bit before 6 a.m. So obviously you can see there's a huge difference. You get to beat everybody else to the punch, you get to get your work done earlier, you get to go home sooner. It's as simple as that. But anyways, I haven't talked about work lately, and I feel like I'm doing you guys a disservice because for once in my life, I actually love my job. At first, the thought of getting back into residential construction was kind of stressful because I've worked in it before and it sucked, but that was in project management. But now I'm on the subcontractor side. As long as I have music and caffeine, the job is actually very therapeutic. I'm getting antsy just sitting here, so let's get to work. Sorry, I don't know what I was trying to do with that. So sometimes the drywallers get a little bit messy with their joint compound when they're in here, so we get a little bit of accumulation on the supply lines. And then after that, the painters come in and same thing, they get some overspray on here. So give these a good wipe down, make sure they're nice and shiny, and we move on to the next item. Good thing I'm not working outside today, because as you can hear, it's raining. And I just remembered that we're supposed to have some like really high winds today. Luckily, we never do any roofing. I mean, there's times where we have to get up on the roof, but not today, thank goodness. I've actually got to run up to Lowe's. I'm heading there now. I just got to grab a couple of things. Unfortunately about to do something really bad. I've talked to you guys about my diet before. I'm pretty balanced with it, but one thing that I have never really changed is my breakfast. Every single day I have 2 eggs, a protein shake, and a slice of multi-grain bread. I ran out of eggs, and that means that I did not have breakfast, so please don't judge me.
What can I get for you there?
I'll do the breakfast burrito. So I'm trying to get everything knocked out and get off work at a decent time today because I'm actually supposed to be lifting with Adam, you guys remember him, a little bit later today. He recently joined a new gym. It's called My Fitness. Yeah, we'll go with My Fitness. I think that's how you say it. So when I get done out here, I'm gonna go lift with him and then see if this My Fitness is the place to be. I'm trying something a little bit different in this week's vlog. I want there to be more dialogue. I don't want to get in the same rhythm where the vlog gets stale, where it's just 10 seconds of talking, 20 seconds of slow motion clips, rinse and repeat, throw in a cool drone shot here and there. Like I want there to be more variety to the channel. I want there to be more engaging content. What that is, I don't know, but that's, I think, part of this whole process is just kind of learning what your niche is and kind of learning what content your viewers want to see. I'm getting hungry, sorry. Oh. Time to touch up cabinets. So cabinet touch-ups are definitely one of the things that we do when we punch a house out. Usually we split our time between adjusting the cabinet doors so that everything's flush and lined up with each other. The other half of that time is spent actually touching up any imperfections in the finish or any nail holes, things like that. Half the time, all the imperfections on there are either grime, dirt, paint, sometimes grout if there's a backsplash, things like that. You give everything a good wipe down. And then after that, you go back through with either a touch-up marker, a touch-up crayon, it's essentially just a wax stick, and then you fill everything in and make it look nice and pretty. Hard hat's a good look on me, isn't it? The last thing on today's agenda is foaming some parting walls. Some of the houses that we work in are called duet homes, at least that's what the builder calls them, but they're not fooling anybody, they're duplexes. A parting wall is just the wall that's between two of these units. So I gotta climb up here and break out the foam gun. First impression of the new gym. And I did check, by the way, the front desk guy told me that it is pronounced MyFitness. There's a handful of locations in Indy, but the one that I went to is at Keystone, and I believe it's in a strip mall, so the actual space itself is smaller, which isn't necessarily a problem. When we went, it was kind of a busier time and there still wasn't a lot of people there. The type of equipment they had was vastly superior to LA Fitness. And the reason why is because not only is it newer, but there's also a better variety. And having that variety is very important in weightlifting because you always need to be able to shock your muscles. You always need to be able to hit different parts of the muscle to help it grow. And the third green flag, I might be out of pocket or just overanalyzing this, but it's actually the other patrons. I say that because, you know, when you're surrounded by other people that have similar goals and just a similar outlook on fitness and dieting, it's a lot easier for you individually to stay motivated and keep that mindset of just constantly bettering yourself and being the best version of yourself. It really made it an enjoyable experience. I ended up signing up. I need to cancel my membership at LA Fitness, and it's going to be tough to do because that's the place that I've been going for the last 3 years. I've really come to enjoy it, but I think that at the end of the day, I've outgrown it. I need to surround myself with a different facility that offers things that are more in tune with my goals. Best way to put it.
The next day.
Happy Saturday, everybody. Well, actually, that helps. Hannah's on Netflix right now finding a movie for us because we are both kind of feeling under the weather today. It's been kind of a rainy, crappy, and windy day as it is, so it seems like it is the perfect time to do nothing. Since we're not feeling so hot, I'm gonna make my mom's famous hot deli meat sandwiches and then just some soup to go along with it. Ruby was kind enough to scratch me right here last night. It was kind of my fault, I can admit that. Whenever we make the bed or change the sheets, I'll get inside the fitted sheet and I like peek out at the bottom and she thinks it's the funniest thing ever. Gets all crazy and gets the zoomies, and sometimes she jumps, and she jumped and accidentally clawed me, so it is what it is. Forgot how bad of a windstorm we had yesterday, so everything was just like shuffled out here. We're feeling a little bit better this morning. Hannah's symptoms are a little bit worse than mine. I'm just more or less tired, and I can't stress this enough, we don't have COVID. I think that today we're just gonna kind of get back on track with cleanliness in the house, so we'll pick everything back up. Sorry I keep looking up over here. The view is just spectacular. Come here.
What? What is that?
Kind of a weird thing to put on your patio, but to each their own. So today I want to talk about missed opportunity. Let me explain. I grew up in a family where documenting family memories was a paramount, and that in itself was a core memory for me. It taught me the importance of not only being with your family, but just having some tangible things that you can look at later on down the road. Eventually I got old enough to where I had the finances and the means to kind of get into it myself with having a good camera, a computer, an external hard drive to save everything. And the reason I wanted to go down that route is because I found videography a little bit more dynamic than just having pictures. It gives you sound, it gives you movement, the things that just give you a really transparent look into the past. And that was back in 2017 when I started doing that, and I accumulated so much footage, stuff that I didn't even really plan on making videos with. I just wanted to have the memories. I don't know what it was, but I think part of it was after moving down here, just getting back into construction and kind of the nature of that industry in itself. I was working long hours. When I got off work, I didn't really have the energy nor the time to pick up my camera. Eventually, I got back into it. I tried to dabble with it again, and it didn't stick. I don't think that I had the work-life balance to have such a time-consuming and at times tedious hobby. So I quit for a while. And I think even to this day, I still harbor some resentment towards myself because of a lot of the missed opportunities that I had. And I'm thinking of a very particular weekend from this year that told me, Jordan, you gotta suck it up. You gotta get your camera out. It's not just for you, it's for the entire family. And before I tell you about that weekend, I've gotta give you just a little bit of context. So recently, Hannah and I were watching a Casey Neistat video. If you don't know him, you should check him out. He is like the OG vlogger. He's just an amazing filmmaker. He's based out of New York. Eventually he moved to California, still kind of made videos, but not so much. And then recently he actually moved back to New York. So that's why Hannah and I were checking out his most recent videos. We kind of wanted to see what his glorious return to New York looked like. And so after we started watching the videos, it reminded me of Hannah and I's trip to New York. And as funny as it sounds, it was not a planned trip. You see, a couple days prior, we were in Vermont for my sister's wedding, and I had all of my camera gear, my drone, I even brought my computer with me, and for some reason, I hardly got either of those things out. I think it was still just having a lot of that festering stress and anxiety from work. You know, we were coming back from Vermont, we had a connecting flight at JFK. As soon as we landed in New York City, we found out that we were not going anywhere. And no, I'm not talking about a 4 or a 5 hour layover. I'm talking about a 2-day layover. And the icing on the cake is that after we found that out, we found out that Delta had lost our luggage. So we were basically stranded. So I think there's a common theme here. It's just that sometimes under stress, you know, the last thing I want to do is film. And yes, I think that's a justifiable excuse, but at the same time, I don't think that it is, because the entire weekend that we were there, I really just got pictures, and I'm sure you can figure that out by now. I think I really could have benefited from having some videos, because we ended up turning that shitty of a start into an amazing weekend. We did everything that a tourist should do. We went to Times Square, we rode on the subway, we went to Central Park, we got giant slices of pizza, we went to Grand Central Station. I mean, the list goes on. Only after coming back to Indiana did I realize how big of an opportunity I missed to document something so special. And that weekend itself is a contributing factor as to why I got back into vlogging. And I promise you, I'm not trying to put all this unnecessary weight on my shoulders. I genuinely love doing this. And one of the things that I've learned is that in order to keep doing it, you have to keep doing it.
Just do it!
Yeah, I know that was really long-winded, but I appreciate you listening.
Authority bus terminal. Transfer is available to 1, 2, 3.